All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the... ...27-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 3rd down, Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep, looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Adams, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Flush to his right. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Fournette, first down, still going. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Second down, Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to get him for a loss of about 3. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. From the gun, here's Cousins. Throwing the out route and complete. It's King. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now they try the right side here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6. And just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. To return it is Corey Grant. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And as a defender, if you come with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Great 15, great 15.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. On third down, Fournette. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A first down throw for Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw, Cousins. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Cousins now to throw on first down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. To throw is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. Let's 50. Wait, hot.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Cousins now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. A give. This is Cook. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Hang in there now. I'm bringing it to you. Hey, stack. 81.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Carlson able to put this one through. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Let's go. Great.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a first down carry. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They need stops to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Ross on the return. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Cousins on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 120.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Martavis Bryant, 92 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he'd played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
Now wins. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is not even going to get there. It's no good. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it. But it's almost like he heard a whistle or something to stop his swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's had himself a game.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. Going deep downfield for Ross. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception. Wow.
You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. And out now come the Eagles. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Black, come on. Liz.
On second down, here's Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
82.
Working from the gun, Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Yellow.
A second down throw for Cousins. Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. First down, here's Cousins. And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
On the run, it's Fournette, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On second down, Cook. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down.
Let's go.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jamal Adams. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.